Welcome on Stylism channel. I've gone through the fashion weeks and fashion collections that has happened back in March to analyze them and collect some of the hottest trends for autumn-winter 2022-2023 season. So if that's something that you're interested in, please continue to watch. So to begin with, we have wide leg jeans that are really popping up this season. Mostly on runway we've seen wide jeans that are starting from the hip, because you can also have a wide opening from your knee onwards. Interestingly enough, it's already the second season in a row that designers are actually trying to change the high waist into the high waist fashion that we used to have, that we're all used to a medium or low-rise jeans. If you do not have your tummy as a problematic zone, I would very much recommend you to look for a low-rise. Otherwise, of course, be careful that having a low-rise will bring more accent and bring more focus on your tummy, as well as it's going to break your silhouette unproportionally. So keep that in mind when you create your outfits. Try to balance something out with an upper part, or maybe wear a longer shirt on top so you hide that low-rise line. Also, of course, remember about your own body specificities. So if you have very long legs and a very short torso, low-rise wide leg jeans will be perfect for you in autumn and winter, and they will serve you very well by elongating and making your silhouette longer, making your legs longer. Next onwards, leather total look. Leather is back on catwalk, and leather is back into our wardrobes. We see leather dresses as well as some mixes of leather skirts, trousers, shirts, blazers. So they're all in trend again, in all their varieties and all their diversity. All attention has to be paid to the cut, to be semi-fitting, not very slim, but semi-fitting, and the texture of the leather that you're using. So it should be either matte or semi-matte. And again, it's a bit more of a kind of drama style. So it's not for everyone, but if you're someone who wants to bring something very specific, something very eye-catching to your outfit, I would 100% recommend going for a high-quality leather jacket to incorporate that in your winter outlooks as an overlayer, an oversized layer. I think that will look fantastic. That will look really fantastic this season. When talking about length, it's interesting because I'll be talking more in the video. We have kind of two contrasting length here. We have mini, which comes mostly from spring summer season to us, and it continues its way into autumn and winter, even though it's not always practical in the winter. And then we also have a maxi length, with midi disappearing. But right now, let's talk about the midi, about mini skirts and mini size. Sorry, it's something new, and it's something interesting and eye-catching, because it's not only a mini skirt, but it's also a low-rise mini skirt, which makes it a very tiny, teeny piece of clothing. Once again, it's very provocative, but it can be wearable. So I would recommend those who are not afraid to show off their legs to just pay attention to the proportions, and to remember that if we have such a such a provocative garment on our lower part, we should absolutely counterbalance it with something more masculine, something bigger, something of a different texture, maybe something more voluminous on top part, so that the look and outfit can be balanced, and can seem balanced, and can be very pleasant for an eye to look. It's also recommended to look into preppy style, and preppy skirts are also very much trending this season. It's great if you can style a mini skirt into a preppy style. This all will look fantastic, and we have seen all of it on the runway. So talking about the maxi length, I'll jump right into it. So we see that the length of the midi length is kind of disappearing for this season, for autumn winter. But maxi coats is something that we see on the runway very, very often this season. It's not always practical, I must say, because obviously having a maxi coat and living somewhere in Brussels where it rains, or in London where it rains a lot, and you just walk on the streets and you get all the mud and you wipe the streets with it, it might be problematic. But if you live in warmer regions and you want to try something new, something that will elongate your silhouette, make you feel more elegant, that will add this flowy texture, but keep you all very kind of official and organized and put together, go for a maxi coat. I think this is it's an interesting trend that we have, and in the very end, if the trend won't stand and will disappear soon, you can always then go to an atelier and make it a little bit shorter. That's something worth looking into and something worth investing into if you want to look trendy today, but also have a classy item that will serve you long. Next, onwards, we have gloves. Interestingly enough, this season we see a new styling technique, or fashionable technique, in using gloves. And mostly they're used either in the tone of your outfit or with the repeating color palette, or even the same print of the outerwear. Mostly leather, but other textures are also seen and also welcome in this season. In my opinion, it's a very elegant trend, and it adds the ladylike style to anything that you are wearing. So I myself will very much try to find a very nice pair of gloves to wear. Moving from covering hands to covering legs, we have tights and stockings that are also peaking, or on the peak this season. Again, not the neutral colors, not the classic ones, but the colored, textured, with print, something very bright, something that gets into the eye when you pass by people on the street. So having those colorful tights and stockings are now trendy, and you can wear them not only with the closed shoes, but also with an open one, so with sandals, for example, to kind of fully show your leg. Interesting trend. You can also again style it within the preppy style if you have a print of a kind of large squares and so on and so forth, or rhombs. But it's not for everyone. It's for those who are not afraid to again show up the legs. Remember about the proportions of the body. So again, it's not for everyone. It's for those who are not afraid to draw the attention to the legs, to show them off, and to maybe sometimes go a little bit over the top with the colors, and to maybe use another styling technique in experimenting with the colors and bringing an additional bright color into the outfit by using stockings or tights. Moving onwards, we have leather jackets. Leather jackets are back and they are fantastic. This season they're coming in again semi-fitting silhouettes, so not the ones that are tied to your body. So either semi-fitting silhouette or an oversized fit. Looks fantastic. It's such a universal item to have in your wardrobe, because you can combine it with many things. You can have it with the dresses to kind of have this masculine, very nasty note to your feminine look. You can wear it with the pants. You can wear it on top of a t-shirt, on top of a suit. So any combinations are great with it, and I would very much recommend it. We see a lot of oversized examples on catwalk this season, and all of them look absolutely great. Adding up to leather, we also have fur. Despite the fact that many brands are trying to go free of fur due to their ethical thinking, and reasoning. We still see a lot of fur in this season's collections, and even though the focus today is mostly on the synthetic furs, it doesn't mean that it's a better alternative. So artificial fur is made of acrylic polyester, which contains complex chemical components and oil refining products, which means that it might be ethically more correct to buy artificial fur, but it takes it way more time to decompose in the end. So if I'm not mistaken, the time for the artificial fur to decompose is several hundred years. So in my opinion, if you decide to go for this trend this year, try to go to the vintage stores and look through the items that are already out there. This would be the most sustainable way to be fashionable and trendy, but not make too much harm to the environment. Talking about coats and outerwear that keeps you warm this season, knitted sets and knitted cardigans, knitted sweaters will be also very trendy this season. So either try to go through your grandmother's wardrobe or ask her to knit something to you, or pay attention for the mass market and look for wearable items in all the different price segments to see what fits you and what works best for you. I love this trend because it looks super cozy, especially when you have the knitted sets all together, a sweater and trousers. It gives me those warm feelings of Christmas and hot chocolate with marshmallows. So very recommended, very wearable, very everyday look, very comfortable and cozy to run the errands, but also to go out with your friends. So keep an eye on it. Next onwards, broad shoulders. We've seen that already before, and I think this is something that is kind of returning to us season to season. We have broad shoulders to show the masculinity, to have this masculine note to the outfit. We also see that on the runway these seasons. The broad shoulders in blazers are mostly exist in an oversized silhouette, and the oversize has been with us for a very long time, so not a big surprise. However, the oversized jackets, oversized blazers with broad shoulders is really going to be on peak this season, this autumn and winter. I personally love broad shoulders. I think it adds a very good edge to your outfit, and it adds some character and boldness. This trend is also not for everyone. If you have an inverted triangle or a rectangle type of body, meaning that you have a very active upper part. By active I mean it's very visible, you have already broad shoulders, and you may be not so fond of it and you would like to hide it. The oversized and shoulder padded blazers and outerwear will only make those shoulders even bigger and even more noticeable. So by wearing this trend, keep in mind that this is going to be a focus of the outfit, and the eye visually will be drawn to look at those shoulders and to look at this silhouette, kind of an exaggerated silhouette created by blazer or by anything with padded big shoulders. This to keep in mind, as well as to remember that broad shoulders bring the masculinity note, as I said before, and thus it has to be harmonized with more feminine, more maybe romantic items to counterweight it and to balance it out. So you can wear a blazer with the broad shoulders and have a very kind of flowery skirt that is flowing out of it, or you can have a blouse that can be seen where the blazer ends. You can also maybe add high knee boots with a heel, so something that really makes the silhouette complete by balancing it out. Moving onwards, again we have a maxi trend. It's a maxi skirt. As mentioned, we see midi disappearing and having only mini skirts that I already covered before, and maxi skirts that are coming into this season. Maxi skirts of all the different textures, all different formats. They can be leather, more kind of bold, more more drama in terms of, you know, this kind of a shiny texture, or they can be more toned down, more laconic, more finished, and they are a great way to kind of diversify your wardrobe this season, because maxi skirts can be worn with anything, with a basic top, with a blouse, with turtleneck, t-shirt. So really the variety of styling options with the maxi skirt is endless. So I would personally really look into it as something to buy for an upcoming autumn and winter month. Also, it's great because it covers your legs, so it gives you more, it keeps the worms better, and it elongates the silhouette, especially if your maxi skirts has a high waist rise. It's gonna make your silhouette even longer, making visually your legs longer. Next one is my favorite. It's a corset or a buste. So corsets are back in fashion, and we've seen that already in spring and summer, and now they are continuing their life into autumn and winter. Maybe not so practical in the winter, but into autumn for sure. I love corsets because I think they not only have an interesting history, not always a positive one, but an interesting one, but they really add an elegance and a femininity note to whatever you're wearing. So most of the combinations seen on the runway are with corsets and trousers. So again, this balance of kind of more masculine and a feminine top. But it can be done in any different ways. You can wear a shirt and then a corset on top. You can also put more layers on top. It's just to kind of make visually your waist seen, and then you can play around with it in any way you want. Another important thing to say, corsets put an accent and a focus on your chest. So once again, if your body type is an inverted triangle or a rectangle and you just have kind of a broader chest or broader breast zone, and you do not want this to be even more visible, if you have big breasts, for example, you don't want them to be even bigger, maybe it's best for you not to use those strands in these seasons, as again, corsets make your chest more visible. It mostly opens up your upper part. So keep in mind this, and if that's not your story, then you can wear sexy corsets with anything, with jeans, trousers, skirts. Here it's really up to you to experiment and see what works best for you and what you like. Another sexy trend for an extremely bold women out there is the transparent fabrics. We see a lot of transparent dresses on runway for autumn season. And sometimes they show a little bit of a naked body, sometimes they show a full naked body. Of course, you don't have to wear that way, because I don't think that's realistic or wearable, especially if you live in the colder countries. But if you're someone who likes to be a bit playful and a bit flirty with the way you dress, it's something to look at. You can buy a blouse and have a very nice bralette below to kind of make this see-through fabric stand out and then kind of show a bit more of your skin beneath it. Or you can even go for a transparent dress and maybe combine it with the body underneath to make it more kind of an everyday look. Another trend are bombers. As we talked about, we have an oversized leather jackets that are coming back in trend, so we also have an oversized bombers, and it becomes one of the kind of most fashionable jacket, I guess, of the autumn-winter season. It has this very semi-sporty, it comes from sport style, so it has this kind of semi-sporty appearance in whatever fabric it's made, be it leather or not, but very often this semi-sporty style can be well combined with other styles. And again, remember to wear it with basic clothes and with the clothes that are very opposite in style to it. So if you have an oversized bomber that is very, very sporty, try to combine it with a skirt then it would make the whole outfit more interesting, and you would see again this kind of difference of styles, difference of textures playing all together, and thus the entire outfit will be more complete. Last but not, oh no, pre-last is Fringe, and Fringe is also something that comes to us from the summer season, spring-summer season. Fringe gives a hint of a bohemian style, of a boho style, boho chic style, sorry, and there's going to be plenty of this fall. I don't think this is going to be a long trend, so if you're into Fringe, this is your time to shine. However, I wouldn't really go for it as a big investment into your wardrobe. I personally find Fringe very interesting to work with, as again it has this very flowy, kind of very flowy feeling to it, and it can be well combined with also very different other items. But it's up to you if you feel like you want to include the boho note into whatever you're wearing this season. And finally, last but not least, one of my favorite trends for autumn winter again are suits. This season we see more and more that three-piece suits are really on the peak, and I absolutely adore three-piece suits. Not only with trousers, they can also come in different forms, varieties, with bermudas or with skirts. However, I really adore this trend because it really kind of shows this power and again kind of masculinity on a female body. I find it extremely sexy and again very wearable, very comfortable, very usable everyday outfit. If you go to the office, this is fantastic. It's going to cover you, cover all your body. Another trend we see that the west of the three-piece suits is usually worn on the naked body, so you only have a bra underneath, and then you have the vest and then a blazer on top. It looks very feminine to me, especially if you add some necklace to again make the kind of the V color your neck to stand out. I think this is a fantastic one. Try to look into it and bring it into your wardrobe, especially if you are a working type and you go to the office. It's also a very good trend. I really like it because by buying and making an investment in a very high quality, good three-piece suit, you also get three separate items that you can combine separately. You can combine vest with the jeans, which has also been trendy for the summer, for example, season. You can use your pants to combine with other blouses, with different type of shoes to go to the office, and kind of have this official look, but in different variation. And of course, you can use blazer in many different ways on top of dresses if you go out for a cocktail or you go on a date, but also if you go to the office, if you go out with your friends just wearing a jeans and some sneakers. So again, I think this is a great trend, and we really should look into it because it's a great investment, and it's gonna serve you great time this season, but also many more years to come. And that's it for today. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope that was something interesting and useful for you. Please write in the comments below which trend was your favorite, or which trend maybe you've noticed on a runway and on catwalk that I did not mention. Don't hesitate to experiment and play with your clothes and with your outfits, because it stresses your authenticity. З Україною в серці, yours, Marina.